Okay, this video is going to take you through the process of editing that photo that you have for your project. So we're going to get our photo first. I'm just going to go through the process really quickly. You can pick whatever celebrity that you'd like. You can also use your camera. You can download a picture from your phone, whatever. So I'm just going to go through and show you guys how you can download a high quality image off of the internet. So just typed in Ryan Reynolds. I go to images. Then you're going to go to tools, size, large. That way you're finding a high resolution picture. So we're going to be focusing on just the face. So you don't want pictures that have like a full body and the face is just a little tiny piece of the photo. You want a nice high quality picture that just, like I said, just focuses on the face. So just go with this first one. Right click, open image in new tab. And then you're going to open up the new tab. So you want it to basically fill up the whole screen. Okay, you can see it. I mean, it's not filling up the whole screen because it's a portrait orientation, so there's some space on the sides here, but you know, it's filling up the space vertically anyway. Right click, save image as, and just be aware of where you are saving it. It's going to look different on your Chromebook than it is going to look on this MacBook, but I'm just going to save it on the desktop for now, and I hit save. Okay, so wherever you end up saving it, just be aware of where you are saving it, because we're going to be now opening up a program off the internet, and we're going to use that to edit it. So the program is called Photopea, or Photopea. P-H-O-T-O, like photo, and then P-E-A, like the green vegetable. Okay, so it's going to bring you over to here. You might get it, if I've opened this before, you might get it where the screen might look different, and you're just going to X out of there's a big X on it, and you're going to be Xing that out. So you should, you're going to open from computer. You should be able to see it from here, and then at some point you're going to open from computer, and you're going to open up that picture. So I'm not going to talk about too much about Photopea. Some of you guys are know how to use it. Some of you guys have never seen it before. Basically, this is your workspace right here where your photo is, and you have some windows on the side, and you have your tools on the left side over there. So you're going to be cropping it first. So we're going to find the tool that looks like this, and it is known as the crop tool. I believe if you hit the letter C on your keyboard, it'll take you right there. The options for each of these tools is going to be located right above this workspace, right above the picture. So if you go to the crop tool, you see you have some options here. So we're going to need to put a width and a height in. So we're going to change this from free, and we're going to go to fixed size. Now the size is going to be in pixels, and the size that Mrs. Jones and I want you guys to use is a picture that is going to be 6 inches by 8 inches. So we're not going to be able to use inches, we're going to be using pixels. So the numbers that we're going to be using is 6 times 300, and that's going to be our width. The picture is going to be 1800 pixels wide, and the height.
Please report downstairs for pickup. Anisha Prasad.
And then the height is going to be 2400 pixels, which is 8 inches, 300 pixels per inch. So 300 times 8. 2400. So 1800 for the width, 2400 for the height. Make sure you change it from free to fixed size. And then this is going to be the size that we're going to be working with. And you can see that as I'm dragging this crop area around, it's going to hold the proportion. So I can't make it squatty or squared. It's going to be that proportion. And I'm going to zoom in on the face like so. So the first thing you do is you crop it. Okay, next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting rid of the color. We're going to desaturate this. And that's up in Image, Adjustments, Desaturate. Okay. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do a process called posterizing. This has a lot of different values. It has black, white, and a whole mess of different grays. So we're going to be limiting the amount of grays that we're going to be having on here. We're going to limit it to probably 2 different grays, if not 1 different gray. So I'm going to do this once. You can try it. You go to Image Adjustments again, and there's this thing called Posterize. You can see my levels are 3 because I have 3 different levels of color. I have white, black, and then I have 1 middle tone gray. If you want, you can increase it to, decrease it to 2, so you only have 2 colors, black and white. But we're going to use at least 3. Some of us want to use 4. So you can see when I increase the levels to 4, I have 2 different grays, and I have the black and the white. So that might look fantastic just the way that it is if you set it, and ideally you want 3. So let's see what 3 looks like. So, you know, you might be set on this, but you can also adjust your contrast a little bit before you go ahead and do this. Like if it looks too light, it looks too dark. So let's adjust the contrast a little bit, and it's going to give that posterizing a little bit of a head start. So I'm going to go to Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Brightness and Contrast. So brightness, if I drag this up, it's going to make it brighter. If I drag it down, it's going to make it darker. So some of you guys, you might have a very, very bright image and it's too bright, so you might want to dial this down a little bit. So I'm going to leave it at 0. Contrast. This is the one that I really want you to play around with. Start increasing the contrast to 100. And this will kind of help you along to kind of get those different tonal values in. You know, if I want a lot more darkness, I'll go bring the brightness down. If I want a lot more white, I'll bring the brightness up. But this kind of leads it along a little bit. So bring the contrast to 100. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to Adjustments, Image Adjustments, and Posterize. So you can see it looks a little bit different, and I actually like this better than I had it before. I made it a little bit brighter. So 3 is the number that you really want to use. But if you need to do 4, you think 4 is going to be okay too, you can do 4. So 3 or 4. All right. So just to review, you're going to crop it to a 6 by 8 image. So it's going to be 1800 pixels wide, 2400 pixels tall. So you want to crop it first, and then we're going to be working with the posterizing. All right. And then sorry about that. So again, when you posterize it and you're ready to go, excuse me for a second, you're going to go to File, and you are going to go to Export As, and you're going to export it as a JPEG. A JPEG is a type of image file, and that's what you're going to be submitting to Google Classroom. So make sure that you save it, or actually export it, as a JPEG. Okay? You get this view here, and now this doesn't mean we're going to be just getting Ryan Reynolds' eyes. You're going to get the whole picture. It's just zoomed in, and you can see it. Zoom back out, and I'm going to hit Save. So it's going to end up in my downloads. Oh, excuse me. It's going to end up in my downloads. And then I'm going to be putting that into Google Classroom. So you want to make sure you're aware of where it is, what it is, and make sure that you submit that JPEG to Google Classroom so Mrs. Jones and I can print them out. Okay? Good luck with it all. If you have any questions, you guys know how to find me. All right, good luck.